Hello everyone, William Johnson here. This is another Saturday tutorial. Now, this lesson is going to be a little different in the sense that it's not a total beginner lesson. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, some of the ideas are basic concepts, but I'm not going to go into depth with this rhythm that I'm going to show you and each and every note. I'm going to show you how to play it. I'm going to show you the notes, but it's going to be more from an intermediate to advanced. So like lower intermediate all the way up to advanced, depending on where you're at or depending on what your journey in percussion playing. However, if you want to learn the rhythm and you're at a very basic, you're just a level, you're just starting the bongos, and you want to learn how to do what I'm doing here from the ground up, go to the description below, check out the links. I'm going to highlight what relevates, what is relevant and related to this video. And then you can go over those and come back to this video and then watch it and apply it to your playing. So let's jump in. What I want to show you is a Martillo rhythm and how to use it in a pop or contemporary context. Now, I've gone over the Martillo rhythm, which goes like this, or a version of it, or like this. Now, that's a version of the Martillo. There's different ways to play this rhythm, but the idea that I'm going to do is take this and put it in a pop, rock, singer-songwriter, folk, CCM, whatever you may put this groove that I'm going to play it with, this track that I put together. I'm going to put it in that context, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how to play the rhythm, although I'm not going to go into depth in this video. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to show you how to play this rhythm and how I would apply it in a pop context, thereby making the rhythm my own. So making it my own in the sense of adapting it to another genre, another context. So this is an Afro-Cuban way of playing style. It's taken from an Afro-Cuban tradition, so another tradition, and then we're bringing, where the bongos come from, and then I'm bringing it into a different context, a different genre, a different style, different tradition. So that is another way that we also make a rhythm our own. Okay, so I was asked to talk about some bongos a little bit more and also go into making the rhythm your own. So this is one way that we can make the rhythm your own. If you want to know a little bit more about, and you're just getting started in bongos and you want to know more about the different notes, you know, that you can make, different sounds, then you can go into a playlist that I'm going to link down below in my description and check out those videos. I talk about the basics of playing the bongo, playing a Martillo rhythm, getting started anyway with a version of it. And yeah, there's a bunch of videos that will be in the playlist down below, and you can go through those videos. And I will also highlight the particular videos that are related to this one in particular. But you can also scroll through that playlist. I put together a track to play this rhythm to so you can hear it in that context. But first, let me do a brief overview of how the rhythm goes. There's a few different sounds that you play. One is a tip. And that tip, that sound, it's very important that you get that sound where it has a bit of the wood, the shell underneath it. It has some of that sound, that tone that's in there. It's very important that it's not too muddy. It's not too bassy, is what I mean. It's very high pitch and solid. We get some of the tone of the skin as well as the wood on there. Okay, it's like a tapping a nail into a piece of wood there. All right, so it's a bright yet wood-like tone. I'm searching for terms of ways to describe it. Okay, that sound right there, that's very important because that's where the accents are going to lie in this rhythm. All right, now the next note that is going to be important in this rhythm is with your fingertips. Now, you notice the way that I'm holding the drum. It could be held on a stand, but for the sake of this presentation, I'm just putting them traditionally between my legs as such. And I'm playing with my left hand. I'm playing with my fingertips. And I'm not just doing a heel toe like straight down, but it's slightly to the left. It's an ergonomic situation. In other words, what's natural to my body. So that's another one. And it's going to be a softer touch. And we're going to make variations of that. The next note that's very important is the thumb coming down on the side. Again, it's not this motion. It can be, but it's more of this side to side. Not completely side to side, but a mixture of up and down and side to side, because that thumb we want to press a little bit into the skin of the head of the drum. And we're not doing it very hard. It's not a hard tone, okay? And then the next important note is fingers, this part of my hand, pressing into the larger drum and playing an open, a mixture of an open and a muted note. So it's not completely open. It's what we don't want is it to be hollow. We don't want it to be hollow like that. We want it to be solid. And what I mean by hollow is thin and all of those overtones that you hear. We want it to be versus, we don't want that. We want that. And this isn't wrong, but you want to be able to control the difference between them two. Because the context we're going to place this in with the drums, you really want to mix your sound in with what the drum set and the other instruments are doing, okay? Now, this isn't, what was I going to say? This isn't conventional. But another way you can play this is with your thumb. It's going to be a slightly different sound, but you can play that. Okay, so it'll be slightly different, but you can, if you're able to do that, now you have this and this as well. Okay, so later on you can play a flam with both hands, which is actually your finger and your thumb, but the idea is you can do that, stuff like that. So there's nothing really wrong with playing with your thumb, but this is the more traditional way to do it, but you can also play with your thumb. Remember, this is a contemporary way of playing anyhow, okay? We're borrowing from the folk and tradition, the folk tradition, and putting it in a contemporary context. Okay, now the pattern of the rhythm goes like this, but this is the structure as in a nutshell, if you will. Is excuse me, right, if I'm playing with my right hand on the tip, I play right tip, that sound, and then left fingertip. Then I play right touch, so it's softer. Then I play left thumb. And I do that as a loop over and over. I repeat. So right tip, left fingertip, right touch. So it's soft. Left thumb. Again, right tip, left fingertip, right touch, thumb, soft. And it'll go like this. And that's the rhythm. The only other difference is on beat 1, we come over to the large drum. Something that I failed to mention is the way that I'm counting. I made a mistake and said that the open tone on the hembra, or the larger drum of the bongo, is on beat 4. Well, I was wrong, and you notice I corrected it there, but actually I wasn't wrong if you were counting it in a traditional sense. I am counting it in a pop rock context. If you were playing this in a salsa context, the martillo, where the rhythm originates, traditionally where it's played, then it would be a 2-bar phrase. So the rhythm going taka 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 You go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that open tone would actually land on beat 4. But when we slide this rhythm into a more pop rock context, and we fit all that within one bar, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, then those open notes on the large drum end up on the and of 4 and the and of 2. So it depends on how you count it. That's the whole thing. Hopefully this doesn't confuse you. Basically, I am counting it differently than a traditional sense. That's all we need to know. If you're learning the martillo for a traditional context, this is not that video. We're making the rhythm our own in a different context, playing it in a contemporary way. So the rhythm really isn't a martillo, but I think it is important to call it a martillo because that's where its origin is, and paying respect to the tradition where it comes from. That's really where I'm borrowing the pattern from. So it's a martillo, but I'm counting it differently. So hopefully this doesn't confuse you. I might need to do a whole video just on that. I don't know. Let me know if that makes sense. But anyways, not the traditional way of counting it in this video, hence why I'm counting it differently. I'm counting it based on where the drum set is playing, based on where the guitar would be playing, based on the melody and the structure in a different genre. All right, back to the video. So the whole rhythm goes like this: 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 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 so I'm playing on the and of 4. Right after beat 4, I play here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and now you can also add playing this on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1. Switch it up. And 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so every now and then you can switch it around. Now, this is going to be really cool when we play it with the drum set and we use it for like an A and B section of a song via verse, chorus. When the chorus comes up, we might play more improvised stuff. With the drum set, right? And then when the verse comes in and the dynamic volume goes down, but we want to drive the song, then we can go 3, 4, 1. You know, and the verse is going, the drum set's going, and then we go back into the chorus. So it's just a way of breaking things up. In other words, I'm using this version of a martillo to drive, to help create excitement and push the lyric out there. It's just another cool way. So I'm gonna play it with this track to show you what I mean. And basically we're taking this rhythm and we're just creating something else out of it in another context. Now, if you want to know more about playing the rhythm and getting better at the rhythm so that you can play that and go back and forth whenever you want, check out the other videos. It's very important to try to isolate each note first, have a good tone, master tone, have a good strong tempo, practice with a metronome, but also learn the rhythm, master the rhythm. If you're having a hard time taking these types of rhythms and then putting them in different contexts, it's probably because you really don't know the rhythm well enough. You should know the rhythm to the point where you don't even have to think about it. That way you can go, oh, this would be cool to put in there, right? And I can sit here and have a conversation with you while playing this rhythm. I can even explain some more complex and intricate things while playing that rhythm and improvise because I've isolated the rhythm in practice and played it with repetition over over and over again. It's very important if you want to be able to make the rhythm your own and play it in a different context. All right, here's a bongo, not a bongo track. Here's a drum track that I put together to play this rhythm so I can show you what I mean by using this martillo in a more pop or rock context with the drum set.